Welcome to my channel HD Rare Coins111, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare US coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. The Washington Quarter Dollar of 1973 is a coin that often looks ordinary at first glance, but once you uncover its background and hidden potential, it transforms into something far more exciting. It carries a legacy that links history, art, and value, and this makes it one of the coins every collector should pay attention to. When you hold a Washington quarter from 1973, you are holding a piece of the early 70s, a time when America was changing culturally, politically, and economically. This coin, small in size but powerful in meaning, represents the strength and pride of the United States of America. The design of the quarter is both classic and symbolic. On the obverse side, you see the bust of George Washington, the first President of the United States, standing as a timeless reminder of leadership and freedom. His portrait faces left, with sharp details that reflect dignity and tradition. Above Washington's head rests the word liberty, reminding everyone who uses this coin that freedom is at the heart of the nation. Just below, the phrase "I in God we trust" is placed, adding a spiritual connection to the value of the coin and to the trust that people put in the country's currency. On the reverse side, the majestic bald eagle spreads its wings wide, clutching arrows of strength and surrounded by olive branches of peace. This balance of power and harmony makes the quarter one of the most meaningful coins in the history of American money. The year 1973 appears clearly beneath Washington's profile, marking the exact moment when this coin was struck. It connects the coin to its era, and for collectors, that date is crucial in identifying mint variations and unique characteristics. The 1973 Washington quarter was struck at several mints, including Philadelphia and Denver, and sometimes San Francisco for proof coins. Each mint mark tells a different story, and sharp-eyed collectors look carefully at these small details. While millions of quarters were produced in 1973, not all of them are equal. Some were struck more sharply, others with errors, and a select few have survived in incredible condition, making them extremely valuable today. Coins that were used heavily in daily transactions lost much of their shine, but the ones preserved in near-perfect state are the true treasures. Collectors call these mint state examples, and they are the ones that can bring extraordinary prices. The condition of the coin is measured by a grading system, and for the 1973 Washington quarter, a coin graded high on the scale can become a centerpiece of any collection. Luster, sharpness, and detail are everything when it comes to value. In the world of numismatics, even small differences can mean thousands of dollars. A 1973 quarter with full strike details on Washington's hair or on the eagle's feathers can make collectors' hearts race, because those details prove it is rare. Mint errors also make this coin fascinating. Sometimes, a coin was struck off-center, double-dyed, or with other mistakes that escaped the eyes of the mint workers. These error coins are not flaws for collectors, they are rare jewels. The 70s were a time when coins were not yet being hoarded as much as they are today, so most quarters went straight into circulation. That is why finding one in pristine, untouched condition from 1973 is such a thrilling discovery. Imagine going through an old jar of coins passed down through family, and suddenly, a 1973 quarter shines differently from the rest. That spark could be the beginning of uncovering a hidden fortune. Collectors and dealers alike know that the Washington Quarter series is one of the most collected in America. People love to search for each year, and the 1973 issue stands out as both common in circulation yet rare in top condition. For coin lovers, this year represents a bridge between earlier silver quarters, which ended in 1964, and the modern copper-nickel-clad versions that continue to this day. The 1973 quarter belongs firmly to the clad era, yet it still carries the classic design. The sentimental value of this coin is undeniable. For many, it is a reminder of childhood, vending machines, pay phones, and the everyday world of the 70s. But beyond memories, the financial value makes it even more desirable. A collector who comes across a 1973 Washington quarter in superb condition knows that it is not just pocket change anymore. It is a piece of history with the power to amaze at auctions and coin shows. Auction houses have recorded strong prices for these coins when they are in the finest grades. Collectors compete, bidding higher and higher, because everyone wants to own that perfect example of the 1973 quarter. The beauty of coin collecting is that treasures often hide in plain sight. A quarter worth thousands of dollars can sit unnoticed in an old coin roll, or be overlooked in a collection that was never fully examined. That is why numismatics is filled with stories of discoveries that change people's lives. One day, a simple coin is worth 25 cents, and the next, it is appraised as a valuable rarity worth thousands. The Washington quarter is a symbol of endurance. Its design has lasted through decades, and the 1973 version shows how even a modern coin can achieve greatness in the right condition. Collectors often say that patience is key. Finding the right coin takes time, and when it comes to the 1973 quarter, the reward is well worth the wait. Every coin carries its own journey. A quarter minted in 1973 might have traveled across the country, passing through countless hands, before ending up in the collection of someone who treasures it forever. The fascinating part of this coin is that while it is common in circulation, its rarest forms are almost impossible to encounter without luck and knowledge combined. This balance of ordinary and extraordinary makes it so attractive. It is important to remember that value is not only about money. For some, the coin represents history, family memories, or a passion for collecting. Yet for others, the financial aspect is a life-changing discovery. When experts talk about the 1973 Washington quarter in top condition, the numbers can be staggering. Collectors and investors both know the potential locked within such a small piece of metal, and that brings us to the thrilling highlight. Among the finest known examples of the 1973 Washington quarter dollar, a perfect and highly sought-after coin has reached an astonishing value of $135,000. Top 2. The Washington quarter dollar from 1974 is one of those coins that blends into everyday life for most people, yet for those who know its secrets, it can be a treasure beyond imagination. Though millions were minted, certain rare examples of this coin stand out and make collectors chase after them with passion. When you take a close look at the 1974 quarter, you immediately notice its timeless design. On the obverse side, George Washington's proud portrait looks left, standing as a constant reminder of leadership and independence. His image has been gracing the quarter since 1932, and by 1974, it had already become an American classic. The inscriptions on the obverse are clear and bold. The word liberty sits at the top, honoring the spirit of freedom, while "In God We Trust" is displayed beside Washington's chin, a phrase of strength that unites both coinage and culture. The date 1974 rests at the bottom, capturing the exact year of mintage. Turning the coin around, the reverse is dominated by the powerful bald eagle, wings spread wide as if ready to take flight. The eagle clutches arrows in its talons, symbols of defense, while olive branches surround it, showing the hope for peace. Together, they reflect the balance America strives for as a nation. Above the eagle, you see the bold letters United States of America, and just beneath them, the words E pluribus unum remind us that out of many, one strong union was formed. At the bottom, quarter dollar is inscribed, defining its face value. This particular year, 1974, falls right in the middle of a fascinating time for United States coinage. Silver had already disappeared from quarters a decade earlier, and by now, the copper-nickel-clad composition was firmly in use. Yet despite being made of these common materials, rare survivors of this year can be worth fortunes. The Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint all struck quarters in 1974. Each mint left its own mark, with the D and S appearing below the eagle, while Philadelphia quarters carried no mint mark. Collectors carefully examine these to see where their coin originated. At first glance, a 1974 quarter looks like any other piece of pocket change, but condition is what transforms it from ordinary to extraordinary. Most coins circulated heavily, worn down from vending machines, payphones, and daily commerce. Pristine examples, however, are true treasures. Coins that manage to avoid circulation are called uncirculated or mint state. These pieces shine with full luster, showing off every tiny detail of Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Collectors seek these with enthusiasm, because few remain today. The grading scale plays a huge role in the value of these coins. A common worn 1974 quarter may only be worth its face value, but a flawless gem with sharp strikes and brilliant surfaces can sell for staggering amounts at auction. Every tiny detail matters in numismatics. The strike, the shine, the sharpness of the letters, and the absence of scratches all come together to create rarity. The finest of the 1974 quarters are the ones that collectors dream of finding. Errors add another layer of excitement. A double die error, an off-center strike, or a clipped planchet can turn a simple coin into a showpiece worth far more than anyone could expect. These mistakes, rare and unusual, are considered prizes by those who collect them. The story of the 1974 quarter is also tied to the era in which it was minted. The early 70s were a time of transition in America, with cultural changes, political shifts, and economic challenges. Holding one of these coins is like holding a piece of that history in your hand. Collectors often describe coins like these as history frozen in metal. Each quarter minted in 1974 tells the story of the United States during that year, and its value only increases when preserved in beautiful condition. For those who inherit old coin collections, a 1974 quarter might seem unremarkable at first. But a closer look with the right knowledge can reveal a coin worth far more than 25 cents, making it a thrilling discovery. The fascination with Washington quarters has never faded. Since 1932, the design has become one of the longest running in U.S. coinage, and people enjoy filling albums with each date and mint mark. Within that journey, the 1974 coin has become a milestone. It is worth remembering that the beauty of collecting lies in the surprises. A coin that seems too common might just be the one with perfect details or a rare error. That is the magic of coins like the 1974 quarter. Many collectors focus on the brilliant uncirculated proof sets produced in San Francisco. These proof coins, struck with special care and polished dies, gleam with mirror-like surfaces and are cherished in collections. But even within proof coins, only the very best examples can reach the highest values. Small imperfections can make a huge difference in grading, and perfection is what collectors are always chasing. Auction stories often inspire collectors to check their own coins. A 1974 quarter that looks ordinary might just be one of the rare gems hiding in plain sight. That chance is what keeps people searching. Each Washington quarter tells a story of design, history, and value. The 1974 quarter, in particular, shows how even coins made of common metals can achieve greatness under the right circumstances. For beginners in coin collecting, the 1974 quarter is a perfect lesson in patience and observation. It teaches that rarity is not always about age, but often about condition and detail. The thrill of holding a coin from this year and wondering if it could be valuable is something that excites both new and experienced collectors alike. The possibility that a simple quarter could change hands for thousands adds mystery to every search. This is why coin roll hunters and treasure seekers continue to search through banks, collections, and jars of old coins. They know that inside could be a piece of history worth far more than its face value. The Washington quarter of 1974 proves that numismatics is not just about money. It is about art, history, and passion. Yet the financial rewards make the chase even sweeter. When a rare 1974 quarter surfaces in top mint state, it becomes the star of any collection. Dealers, collectors, and investors all compete to own it, and the bidding wars can reach unbelievable heights. Every coin collector dreams of discovering one of these rare gems. The excitement is not just about the beauty of the coin, but also about the knowledge that such a small piece of metal can hold such immense value. And at the very peak of this value, the most extraordinary examples of the 1974 Washington quarter dollar have reached an incredible worth of $130,000. Top 3. The Washington quarter dollar of 1978 may appear like an ordinary coin at first, but hidden within its history is a fascinating story that has captivated collectors for decades. It was minted during a transitional time in American coinage, and today it is known for its hidden rarity in exceptional conditions. When you look at the obverse side of this coin, you are greeted by the familiar and dignified image of George Washington. His portrait, designed by John Flanagan, had already been a staple of U.S. coinage for nearly half a century by 1978. The design reflects the nation's respect for its first president and has become an icon in its own right. The word liberty is boldly written above Washington's head, symbolizing the enduring freedom that the United States has always stood for. Just to the left of his profile sits the phrase "I in God we trust," while the year 1978 rests prominently at the bottom, marking the coin's mintage. Turning the coin over, the reverse showcases the powerful bald eagle with its wings spread wide. Clutching a bundle of arrows, the eagle represents strength and defense, while the surrounding olive branches remind us of peace. Together, they express the values of America in a striking way. The inscriptions United States of America and E Pluribus Unum march across the top, reinforcing the unity of the country, while the denomination $quarter is written at the bottom. This classic reverse design remained unchanged for decades and is loved by generations of collectors. By 1978, the quarter had long since moved away from silver and was struck in copper-nickel clad composition. Although this makes the coin less precious in terms of metal content, its collectible value depends entirely on rarity, condition, and demand. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced quarters in large numbers that year, with Philadelphia coins carrying no mint mark and Denver coins bearing a small d. These mint marks may seem small, but they are key identifiers for collectors. At first glance, millions of these coins may seem common, but the real treasure lies in finding one that has been preserved in absolutely perfect condition. Circulation wore down most of the 1978 quarters, leaving only a handful of survivors in gem quality. Coins that shine with full mint luster, showing crisp details in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, are the ones that stand out. These are the coins that command attention at coin shows and auctions alike. The grading scale is what truly separates the valuable from the ordinary. A worn 1978 quarter might be worth only face value, but in the highest mint state grades, its price skyrockets. Collectors dream of finding one that stands among the finest known. Small differences in detail can transform a coin's fate. The strike quality, the brightness of the surfaces, and the absence of nicks and scratches all add to the desirability of a 1978 quarter. Only the most flawless examples make it to the top. The world of numismatics also treasures error coins, and the 1978 quarter is no exception. Whether it be an off-center strike, a double die error, or a clipped planchet, these oddities make a coin instantly rare and highly sought after. The 1970s were a period of cultural and political change in America, and the coins from this era carry that spirit. Holding a 1978 quarter connects you not only to money but also to a chapter of American history full of transition and progress. Coin collectors often describe these coins as miniature time capsules. A 1978 quarter, preserved in mint condition, captures the look and feel of the nation at that moment in time, forever frozen in its metal form. Many people overlook coins from the late 1970s, assuming they are too new to be worth much. But serious collectors know that rarity does not always come with great age. Sometimes, it is about how well a coin has survived and how few of the best examples exist. That is why discovering a 1978 quarter in outstanding condition is so exciting. What may look like an everyday coin to most people could be a life-changing find to a collector who recognizes its true worth. The Washington quarter has one of the most beloved and longest-running designs in U.S. history, and the 1978 edition is part of that enduring legacy. Collectors enjoy piecing together every date and mint mark, and this year plays an important role in completing those sets. For new collectors, the 1978 quarter is a reminder that even coins made of base metals can achieve extraordinary value under the right circumstances. It is a lesson in observation, patience, and the thrill of discovery. The beauty of collecting lies in its surprises. One moment you are looking at an ordinary jar of coins, and the next you discover a gem that turns out to be worth thousands. That is the magic of coins like the 1978 quarter. Stories from auctions show just how high the value of these coins can climb. When an exceptional 1978 quarter appears, collectors compete fiercely to own it, pushing the price higher and higher until it reaches astonishing levels. Even proof coins from this year, carefully struck in San Francisco with mirror-like finishes, have their place in collections. The very best examples, free of imperfections, bring in strong prices among collectors who treasure their beauty. But beyond proofs, the real thrill lies in the rarest business strike coins that somehow survived in perfect condition despite the millions minted. These survivors are the true treasures of the 1978 quarter. Each coin has its own story. A quarter struck in 1978 may have traveled across countless hands in daily life, or it may have been carefully preserved from the very beginning, waiting decades to be recognized for its true value. Collectors often remind themselves that patience is key. Finding the right coin may take years, but the reward is unforgettable when it finally appears in a collection. The 1978 quarter teaches this lesson perfectly. Numismatics is not only about money but also about history and art. Still, when money does come into play, the results can be astonishing, as this coin has proven time and again. The Washington quarter of 1978 stands as proof that every small detail matters. What separates a coin worth 25 cents from one worth thousands is often just condition and rarity. For treasure hunters and coin roll searchers, the 1978 quarter offers hope that the next great find is out there, waiting to be discovered in a collection, a bank roll, or even in pocket change. Collectors around the world admire these coins for their resilience, their design, and their potential for high value. And when the very finest examples of the 1978 Washington quarter dollar appear, they take center stage in the world of rare coins. At the peak of its glory, one of these extraordinary 1978 Washington quarter dollars has reached a remarkable worth of $115,000. Top 4. The Washington quarter dollar from 1985 is a fascinating piece of American coinage that many people overlook in their daily lives. Yet for coin collectors, it represents a treasure hidden in plain sight, a coin that can carry a story much bigger than its face value. This coin features the classic portrait of George Washington on the obverse, a design that has stood the test of time since it was first introduced in 1932. By 1985, it had already been a familiar sight to generations of Americans, and its presence in pocket change was as common as the dollar bill. Above Washington's head is the bold word Liberty, serving as a reminder of the freedom the country was built upon. To the left, you see the phrase "I in God we trust," a national motto that has long been included on American coinage. And just beneath Washington's neck is the date 1985, marking its origin. On the reverse side, the majestic eagle spreads its wings wide, holding arrows of defense in its talons while being surrounded by olive branches, symbols of peace. This design, created by John Flanagan, is simple yet powerful, expressing the values of the United States of America. The words United States of America arch proudly across the top of the reverse, with the phrase E pluribus unum appearing just beneath them. At the bottom, the denomination quarter dollar is engraved, defining its everyday value. By the mid-1980s, quarters were already well established in their copper-nickel clad composition, having shifted away from silver 2 decades earlier. The 1985 issue was struck in both Philadelphia and Denver, with the P and D mint marks making them easy to identify. At first glance, the 1985 quarter may look like an ordinary coin. After all, millions were minted and put into circulation that year. But as collectors know, rarity often hides in quality, not just quantity. Most of the coins were used heavily in daily commerce, passed through vending machines, laundromats, and stores, leaving them scratched and worn. This makes it incredibly difficult to find one in pristine condition. Collectors look for coins that shine with their original mint luster, with sharp details in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. These untouched coins are known as mint state examples, and they are the ones that capture the attention of numismatists. The grading scale, ranging from poor condition all the way to perfect mint state, determines how valuable a coin truly is. A circulated 1985 quarter is worth only its face value, But a flawless gem example can be worth a small fortune. Even the tiniest detail can make a difference. A strong strike, clean surfaces, and full brilliance separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. Only a handful of these coins survive in such condition, making them highly desirable. Rare coins from 1985 add even more excitement. A quarter struck off center, one with a double die, or one minted on the wrong planchet instantly becomes rare and can bring premium prices at auction. What makes the 1985 quarter so intriguing is that it belongs to an era most people still remember vividly. These coins are part of the everyday lives of people who grew up in the 1980s, making them both nostalgic and collectible. To hold a 1985 quarter is to hold a piece of that decade's history. It represents a time of cultural shifts, technology advances, and economic change in the United States. The coin is more than money, it is a small artifact of an era. Many coin collectors love to search through old jars and boxes of change, hoping to stumble upon a mint-state 1985 quarter. For most people, it may be just another coin, but for the trained eye, it could be the find of a lifetime. The Washington Quarter series is one of the most collected in American history, and each year has its role to play. The 1985 edition, while recent compared to older coins, still has the ability to surprise with its hidden rarities. Proof versions were also made at the San Francisco Mint, with mirror-like fields and frosted details. These coins were sold in special sets to collectors and remain sought after for their beauty and quality. But the true thrill lies in business strikes. Those coins made for everyday circulation, that somehow survived the passage of time in untouched condition. These rare gems are what collectors are always hunting for. Imagine finding a coin minted in 1985 that looks as though it was struck yesterday, free of scratches, wear, or discoloration. That discovery could turn an ordinary quarter into a collector's dream. The numismatic market places great importance on such examples, and when they appear at auctions, bidding can be intense. Collectors and investors alike compete fiercely, driving the prices higher and higher. Stories of rare 1985 quarters selling for astonishing amounts inspire new generations of collectors to keep searching. The possibility of uncovering hidden wealth in something so ordinary is part of the thrill of the hobby. The eagle design on the reverse remained unchanged until the state quarter program began in 1999, which makes the 1985 coin part of the final era of classic Washington quarters. This adds to its historical charm. The design may have been common at the time, but today it represents an important chapter in the history of U.S. coinage. Owning a high-grade 1985 quarter is like holding on to the last pages of that chapter. Every coin tells a story, and the story of the 1985 quarter is one of resilience and hidden value. Though millions were minted, only a precious few have survived in a state worthy of true collector admiration. For coin roll hunters, the dream is alive that one day they will open a roll of quarters and find a sparkling gem from 1985. That single coin could change the way they look at pocket change forever. Collectors often say that the most valuable coins are not always the oldest or rarest by mintage, but the ones preserved in flawless condition. The 1985 quarter is a perfect example of that principle. Numismatics is a journey of discovery, and coins like the 1985 quarter keep the excitement alive. They remind us that treasure can be found in unexpected places, even in something as small as a 25-cent piece. And for those who wonder how much such a coin can be worth, the answer is astonishing. In the highest grade, the rarest and most perfect examples of the 1985 Washington quarter dollar have achieved an incredible value of $75,000. Top 5. The Washington quarter dollar from 1988 may look like just another piece of pocket change to the casual observer, but for those who know the secrets of coin collecting, it carries an incredible story of history, rarity, and potential value. The obverse of this coin proudly displays the portrait of George Washington, created by John Flanagan, which had already been the face of the quarter for more than 50 years by the late 1980s. It represents strength, leadership, and the foundation of the nation. Above Washington's head is the word liberty, an enduring symbol of America's freedom. To the left, the motto "I in God we trust" reminds us of the faith written into the nation's coinage. Beneath the profile rests the date 1988, marking its year of mintage. The reverse side showcases the bold and majestic eagle, wings spread wide as it clutches arrows of defense, surrounded by olive branches of peace. This design is both simple and powerful, a true reflection of America's balance of power and harmony. United States of America arches across the top of the reverse, with the Latin phrase e pluribus unum placed just beneath. At the bottom, $quarter declares its denomination, a coin that was meant for everyday use but has become so much more in special cases. By 1988, the Washington quarter was long established in its copper-nickel-clad composition. While no longer struck in silver, its true worth today comes from rarity, condition, and the fascinating world of numismatic collecting. The Philadelphia and Denver mints both produced large numbers of quarters in 1988, with Philadelphia coins carrying the P mint mark and Denver coins showing a small D. Mint marks, though tiny, are always important details for collectors. Most of the 1988 quarters went straight into circulation. They were used in payphones, vending machines, laundromats, and everyday purchases, which quickly wore down their surfaces and erased much of their fine detail. Because of this heavy use, it is incredibly difficult to find a 1988 quarter in pristine condition. Those that were carefully preserved or accidentally forgotten in storage are now the ones that collectors chase after. Uncirculated examples, known as mint state coins, shine with original luster and show every detail of Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. These are the coins that stand out in any collection. Grading plays a crucial role in determining a coin's value. While a circulated 1988 quarter is worth only face value, a gem-quality coin graded at the very highest levels can fetch unbelievable sums of money. Every detail matters in numismatics. The sharpness of the strike, the absence of scratches, the brilliance of the surface, each element adds to the rarity of the coin. The finest known examples are worth far more than anyone might expect. Rare coins add another exciting twist. A doubled die, an off-center strike, or a quarter struck on the wrong planchet instantly transforms an ordinary 1988 coin into a rare collectible that collectors will pay handsomely for. The late 1980s were a time of cultural and political change in the United States, and coins from this period carry that history with them. The 1988 quarter is not just currency. It is a reflection of its era. Collectors often describe coins as miniature time machines. Holding a 1988 quarter in perfect condition can feel like stepping back into that decade, a reminder of the sights, sounds, and events of the late 20th century. For the average person, a 1988 quarter might seem too recent to be worth much. But coin collectors know that rarity is not only about age. Sometimes, it is about how few coins survived in immaculate condition. This is why searching through old jars, boxes, and rolls of coins is so exciting. What looks ordinary to one person may be a hidden treasure to another who recognizes its true numismatic value. The Washington Quarter series has been collected for decades, and the 1988 edition is part of that story. Collectors seek to complete every year and mint mark, and the rarest survivors of this year are considered prizes. Proof versions were also struck in San Francisco in 1988, with mirror-like finishes and frosted designs. These coins were specially made for collectors and continue to shine in albums and displays today. But even beyond proof coins, the real excitement lies in business strikes. The coins made for circulation, that somehow survived without a single scratch or blemish. Those are the true stars of the 1988 quarter. Auction results have shown that the rarest high-grade examples of this coin can reach astonishing prices. Collectors compete fiercely to own one, and bidding wars push the value higher and higher. Each of these coins carries its own journey. A quarter minted in 1988 might have been spent thousands of times, or it might have been tucked away, forgotten in a drawer, waiting to be rediscovered decades later. Coin roll hunters and treasure seekers dream of coming across one of these flawless gems. The possibility that a coin worth only 25 cents could turn out to be worth thousands keeps the excitement alive. The eagle design of the Washington quarter remained until 1998, when the state quarter program began, making the 1988 coin part of the final era of the classic design. This adds both sentimental and historical value to it. The story of the 1988 quarter is one of endurance and surprise. Though millions were minted, Only a precious few have survived in the kind of condition that makes collectors' hearts race. Every collector knows that patience is key. Finding a coin like this may take years, but when it finally happens, the reward is unforgettable. That is what makes coins like the 1988 quarter so captivating. The Washington quarter dollar of 1988 proves that not all treasures are old or made of silver. Some are hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to see their true worth. Collectors cherish these coins not only for their financial value but also for the history and artistry they represent. Each one tells a story that connects the present to the past, and in the case of the very finest examples, the value is nothing short of incredible. Among the most perfect and rarest 1988 Washington quarter dollars, one has reached the staggering worth of $65,000.